The only thing else I was going to comment on is he doesn't do anything. He doesn't fight back. He's just resigned to the fact that he's going to get robbed. And we know that once we move a little further in the book and we learn Chronicler has abilities, he has power. He's not doesn't seem like he's an arcanist, but it seems like that he knows the name of Iron. He's got some sympathy, and he doesn't fight back at all. He's just resigned to his fate. And so I'm curious, like, because what I always think about it, like, if you know the name of Iron, couldn't you, like, call Iron, all the iron that's in their blood, and just rip it out of their body? And just kill them all at once.
I was more thinking about their weapons, but wow, I didn't think about that. But yes, there are multiple ways that he should be able to utilize or to leverage it to get out of the situation, which makes me wonder: is he under orders to make no waves, to not, create any, any attention to his presence or to anyone in that area? I don't know.
Or, it could be that he knows the name of Iron, he has control over it, but he can't control it on that deep of a level, like the iron in your blood, and use it to actually kill you. And so, or he's worried, like, maybe he'd be slow, and these guys got bows, and they could fucking loose an arrow on him and kill him before he has a chance to kill them. So there's reasons why you could come up with why he wouldn't fight back, even though he's very powerful. But there's something to it, like that he never uses it in a fight other than with Bast, which obviously we'll get into deeper when we get to that chapter. But he doesn't seem to utilize his power very often.
So speaking of that, Dan, if he had that kind of power, wouldn't you think that at least he'd show it with the Skrill?
He's caught off guard with the Skrill, so I don't know that there's much to learn. Like, he just thinks he runs on some crazy person who's telling him that there's demons, and then all of a sudden this fucking spider the size of a wagon wheel comes skittering in and knocks him over and knocks him out, and that's it. Boom. He's just done in that fight in fucking like 2 seconds. So I don't know that it tells us anything.
Hey, what's he do? What does he do when the commander comes into the? I forget what happens.
He takes his sword.
When the commander comes into the bar,
he takes his sword from him and then stabs him with the sword. So he fights back against that guy, but he's very reserved. Like, he's clearly got some power, and none other than taking that guy's sword, and he doesn't stab him with it. I think the officer like grabs the hilt of the sword and like cuts his hand, and I don't know, I don't remember that if he necessarily stabs him with it, but the guy gets hurt.
Doesn't the kid Shep kills him, right? Shep's the one who kills him.
No.
Isn't that what you just said too?
No.
Isn't it the
It's, I believe Shep gets killed. It's Aaron.
Yeah, the young one.
The apprentice
to
the smith is the one that kills him. He's got like an iron bar that he fucking smashes his face in. Obviously, it's Bast like hops on his back, scratches his face and shit, and gets Bast the reason, that the thing ends up getting killed, but Aaron's the one that delivers the killing blow. But it's neither here nor there. Like, I think as far as Chronicler, it's curious. It's just curious that he doesn't fight back here. He doesn't really. The only time he demonstrates that he's fucking powerful is against Bast, in a situation where Bast would have more than likely murdered him. But Chronicler was prepared to go to war with Bast. But in all the other situations, he just kind of stands back and lets shit happen.
Well, there's an interesting moment in this chapter that speaks to his. Well, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I could be reading too much into it, but he goes to take a piss, and a crow moves in the bushes, and he screams. He jumps back and like cries out in alarm. He then laughs at himself. But like, when I read that, I'm like, why is he? I mean, maybe he's on edge because of these dudes. But if he's that powerful, and they're gone, like, you know, it seemed very alarmist. His reaction there, and why put it in the book? You know,
Chronicler doesn't come off as he comes off as clever, but not super powerful in this one. But let's move on to the next one.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, even in that moment, it's almost like he lacks backbone. It's suggestive that he lacks backbone in a variety of ways, and I don't know if he's playing a part, if that's what's going on here, but it seems that Rothfuss is suggesting that in a variety of ways. So,
yeah, he makes him very, very. I don't know what the word is. Skittery, not skittery, but
skittish.
Fidgety. Yeah, skittish. He's very skittish.
That's not good for penmanship.
Yeah, he does not seem brave. He's definitely does not come off as brave. But you know, as we get further in, we're going to come across like he's clearly powerful, but he does not seem brave. He does not seem like he wants to fucking throw down. He ain't about the Kavoth life.
Well, so and I guess he does that. That when he attacks Bast, it's out of sheer panic. He's not being brave. He's being alarmist. Right? I mean, that's how it kind of read to me. Like he freaked out.
Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, like, no, that part is pretty fucking brave. And he just out of nowhere attacked. But it seemed like an instinct thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Chronicler is a tough guy to figure out. I don't know I don't understand a lot of Chronicler. He's tough to figure out. He's got a lot of power. He doesn't use it in certain situations, and then against Bast, he just uses it without even fucking thinking. So he's tough to figure out.
Well, there's clearly a reason why Roth is keeping us confused about it, because he's giving us things to doubt him, you know what I mean? But then also to show that he is it's a hard one to sort of come to grips with, which I mean in itself to me is interesting. But yeah, he's an enigmatic sort of character for sure.